afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on a relatively mild January day.
Yeah, it's another one of those little taste of spring, just a little touch.
Don't get used to it.
No, that's right.
We'll get to the weather in a minute, but first, topping our news today, Wisconsin is dispatching National Guard troops to battle COVID, serving as nursing assistants as the state records a new single-day record in cases.
The 115th Fighter Wing is back in Madison from a 4-month deployment, greeted by family members, young and old.
And an update for you on Farley, the dog who needed surgery to walk again. It seems Farley will, thanks to some overwhelming support. Let's take a look outside. Almost looks like spring out there. I don't know.
Nice to see the sun. Maybe we're just getting used to it, but it didn't feel nearly as bad today.
Well, it was almost 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Colder, mainly missing the snow. Dana's in the backyard. There is a big storm out there.
There is, and it is not likely going to pass over most of southern Wisconsin. Right now we have a clear, sunny sky. We're talking about the possibility for some snow building in late Friday. Temperature-wise, close to 40. Same where we were at this time yesterday for most of southern Wisconsin. About 39 in Janesville, 39 in Platteville. Not much of a temperature difference in the last 24 hours. So we've had 2 days with above average temperatures. 2 days to help really get some of that packed in ice melted away. Eating a little bit at our snowpack right now, but at least a lot of the sidewalks and parking lots really getting cleared up. Our Doppler track quiet right now due to that nice sunny sky. We look off well to the northwest right now. North of North Dakota, that's the system that's going to continue to sink southeast and bring a lot of snow through Minnesota and Iowa, but possibly just flurries for most of southern Wisconsin. Not expecting a lot of accumulation for us, but we'll look at that system a little later. Right now, a few delays eastbound on the Beltline, westbound, no hiccups for us this evening. And downtown Madison actually looks pretty smooth for the interstate through Rock County and Dane County, north and southbound on 39 and 90. No delays for us right now. And downtown Janesville looks pretty good for the evening commute. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 15 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie, sitting at 17 minutes for us this evening. Again, we'll take a closer look at that system building in and who does have the chance to see some snow in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then, Dana. Thank you. Schools and nursing homes are the focus of state officials in the fight against COVID-19.
It comes as the state reaches yet another record high with more than 13,000 new COVID cases reported today. Eric Franke joins us with more details on how the state is trying to help trouble spots. Eric?
Well, Susan and Mark, the governor, first touching on schools today, saying he knows as a former educator how much parents and teachers want kids to stay in classrooms, saying they'll support testing efforts to keep them there, citing a lot of cases right now in students under the age of 18. As for nursing homes, he's calling on the National Guard to help out with staffing shortages at 6 nursing homes already across the state. 50 were deployed this week. 80 more started training this week, and they'll be deployed by month's end, and then 80 more next month. Training through a partnership with Madison College. They hope to make 200 more beds available by the end of February.
We've seen time and time again that the Wisconsin National Guard is indispensable and can stand up to our most pressing challenges. And as we continue to see COVID-19 cases and hospitalization surge, we are pursuing every available option to bring needed staffing support to Wisconsin's health systems.
DHS officials say 95% of ICU beds and 95% of intermediate care beds are currently in use statewide. They continue to encourage vaccination, booster shots. As of today, 63% of Wisconsinites have at least one dose, plus 1.7 million booster shots. But the death toll continues to climb, now at more than 10,400 deaths statewide. Mark, Susan.
Eric, thank you. Effective today, the Department of Corrections is closing prison doors to in-person visits due to spiking COVID cases. They'll reevaluate come early February.
But in the meantime, Naomi Coles reports so far there is some good news here.
The state's prison population has a far higher vaccination rate than the general public, about 81%. So while about 6% of the population has an active COVID case right now, there isn't a corresponding spike in the severity of cases. About half of those eligible have gotten their booster shots, with more than 1,000 given out in just the last week. Overall, officials hope that both the mild nature of the Omicron variant and the vaccinated status of many prisoners means they'll avoid serious cases.
Numbers have risen very quickly, and just as experts have kind of predicted, we expect numbers, given the nature of this particular variant of COVID-19, and given that we operate congregate living facilities, We expect our numbers to keep going up in the short term.
In total, at least 33 Wisconsin prisoners have died of the virus since the pandemic started here nearly 2 years ago. But prison officials are warning they're expecting those COVID case counts to continue to rise in the coming weeks, and that's really just a mirroring of the general population. More on that tonight at 5 o'clock. For News 3 Now, I'm Naomi Coles.
The Supreme Court has delivered a blow to the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for employers. The Supreme Court blocked the Biden administration's vaccine or test rule, which should have required workers to either get vaccinated or test weekly. The decision comes less than a week after arguments before the conservative majority High Court. But the justices allowed the vaccine mandate for healthcare workers at federally funded facilities.
So many hospital staff are sick that we don't have enough people to take care of the patients that we have.
The decision comes as President Biden tries to ramp up his strategy to battle the latest COVID surge, announcing the administration will double its purchase of at-home rapid tests. While some doctors believe the Omicron surge may have reached its peak in some parts of the country, the CDC says more than 99% of U.S. counties report high transmission. Today, President Biden met with the Senate Democrats to push Congress to pass voting rights bills, but it now faces a steep uphill climb, with two key party moderates once again voicing opposition to changing Senate rules.
Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
President Biden came to Capitol Hill to discuss voting rights legislation with Senate Democrats, days after publicly calling for a change in Senate filibuster rules, which require 60 votes to pass bills.
I hope we can get this done. The honest-to-God answer is I don't know whether we can get this done.
While I continue to support these bills, I will not support separate actions that worsen the underlying disease of division infecting our country.
Before the president's visit, moderate Senate Democrats Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin reiterated their opposition to doing away with the filibuster.
We need changes to make the Senate work better, not getting rid of this filibuster.
Senate Republicans praised Sinema's speech after weeks of warning Democrats not to change the rules.
That would not extinguish the fires of red-hot tribalism in this country. It would throw gasoline on them.
Senate Democrats had previously set Monday's Martin Luther King Jr. holiday to pass legislation. While these latest developments make that highly unlikely, party leaders say they'll keep fighting.
To pass these two bills.
The motion is passed.
Thursday, the Democrat-controlled House passed the Freedom to Vote John Lewis Act along party lines. It consolidates bills which would establish national election standards and reinstate key provisions previously stripped from the Voting Rights Act. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Former President Barack Obama penned an op-ed in USA Today supporting President Biden's position on the filibuster rule, writing, "We can't allow it to be used to block efforts to protect our democracy." Exact Sciences in Madison is getting ready to invest another $350 million into its Madison campuses, potentially creating more than 1,300 jobs. The company says its plans for expansion include investments into a brand new research and development center, laboratory space, and additional warehouse space. The company is most well known for its colon cancer screening kit, Cologuard. Exact Sciences says the expansion will help the company continue its work of trying to eradicate cancer across the world while maintaining its roots in Wisconsin.
Amid ongoing legal trouble, Britain's Prince Andrew is losing some of his royal titles. Buckingham Palace announced today that the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. According to a royal source, he will also not use his title, His Royal Highness, in an official capacity. His patronages will be given to other members of the royal family. In 2019, Andrew stepped back from performing royal duties. This week, a judge refused to dismiss a sexual assault civil case against him.
Well, near 40 degrees today, as we said, and the DNR has some advice on how to stay safe on thinning ice on Lakes Mendota and Monona. With the recent warm temperatures, the DNR says make sure if you do venture out onto the ice, you have a plan in case something goes wrong. Also, make sure you bring at least 2 people, or if you do go out alone, make sure that someone knows where you're going and what time you'll be back.
The ice is always changing. You know, you can get cracks and heaves and stuff like that. So regardless of how thick it is, you know, it can always be changing.
The DNR also warns against walking on frozen rivers and streams because of the possibility of the top freezing and then water continuing to flow under the frozen sheet. Temperatures are going to drop. This weekend is a free fishing weekend. You don't need a license if you want to head out onto the hopefully frozen lakes.
Well, one person is in police custody after a shooting in a Northside Madison neighborhood this morning. Police say they were called to the 1900 block of Tennyson Lane north of Warner Park just before 10 a.m. after a caller reported hearing 3 gunshots. The caller was able to give police a description of the alleged shooter. One person has been taken into custody. Police do not believe there's any further danger to the public. Police have not identified the person they have in custody.
Members of the 115th Fighter Wing returned home from their final deployment with the F-16s today. Next time they deploy, it will be in F-35s. Governor Tony Evers and Air National Guard leaders joined family and friends at the Dane County Airport for the homecoming. 5 members of the unit came home to new members of the family. Some babies were born while their parents finished up their duties on the other side of the world. Jeremy Rasmussen described what it meant to finally hold his daughter, Sarah Rose.
The words can't describe it. I'm just happy to be home.
We're happy to have you home. In October, approximately 300 members of the 115th touched down in Saudi Arabia. There, they joined up to provide air support for troops on the ground in the region. F-16 fighters have been stationed in Madison since 1992.
Well, thanks to many donors, Dane County Humane Society has reached their goal to help pay for specialty surgery to repair a puppy's back legs, which were badly injured after he was likely hit by a car. The Dane County Humane Society asked the public to help raise $5,000 for surgery and additional care for this 4-month-old puppy named Farley. The community not only helped reach the goal, but they exceeded it. The local orthopedic specialist and Madison veterinary specialist performed the 2-hour surgery today. Farley will need physical therapy to maintain mobility in his joints, and he'll eventually be up for adoption.
There are
he's going to be a popular,
here.
popular choice.
Oh, very generous of everybody. Now, that was quick.
Yeah.
We just aired that story for the first time yesterday.
Yeah. Well, does it seem like everything costs more these days?
Well, that's because everything does cost more these days. We'll take a look at what's causing inflation and when prices may start to go back down when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
It's here, Wisconsin. Ashley HomeStore's Mega Mattress Clearance Event is on now. Millions of dollars worth of in-stock clearance, floor samples, and overstock mattresses must be sold. Line up for savings up to 85% off while it lasts. Plus, no interest financing for 5 years. Only at Ashley HomeStore.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
So this New Year's, if you have yellowing between your teeth or coffee stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes or an hour, and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This new year, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. Get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Sick of waiting for your furniture to arrive? Menards has furniture you need in stock. Plus, you get a free rug. That's right. Buy any upholstered living room furniture at $299 or more and get a free 5x7 area rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Need a new chair? How about a sectional? A new recliner or love seat? Buy one today. Get a free rug. Hurry up. Get to Menards before they're gone. In store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards. It's here, Wisconsin. Ashley Home Store's mega clearance event is on now. Millions of dollars worth of in-stock clearance, floor sample, and special purchase furniture and mattresses must be sold. This is your chance to save as much as 85% off while it lasts. Plus, no interest financing for 3 years store-wide. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Well, hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg has sold his own brands of liquor and cannabis.
Well, now it looks like he could be soon selling hot dogs. According to Billboard.com, the rapper recently filed for a federal trademark for Snoop Dogg's. The filing is meant to secure the name before actually starting the brand and indicates he has serious plans to do so. But it's only a first step, like the time he filed a similar trademark for an ice cream brand, Snoop Scoops, which never materialized. In the meantime, you can catch Snoop Dogg performing at the Super Bowl halftime show next month. He'll be joined by Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem.
The U.S. Senate wants to honor Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley. Tuesday, senators voted to posthumously award the Congressional Gold Medal to the mother and son. The Congressional Gold Medal is Congress's highest civilian honor. The black 14-year-old was murdered by white supremacists in 1955 for reportedly whistling at a white woman in Mississippi. Till's death sparked the civil rights movement.
The U.S. Army is hoping cash will help fill its ranks during the pandemic. The Army is offering new recruits up to $50,000 in incentives to enlist for 6 years. The military branch says it's the largest bonus it's ever offered. In the past, recruits were limited to $40,000. How much the recruit receives depends on several factors. The Army says certain jobs come with higher bonuses because they either need to fill them quickly or the positions are difficult to fill. Bonuses are also given to those who can quickly complete combat training.
The Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival has announced the lineup for its planned return in April. Billie Eilish, Harry Styles, and Kanye West are set to headline. Coachella is planned to take place over the last 2 weekends in April at the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California. This year will mark the festival's return after a 2-year hiatus due to COVID. That is, if it actually happens. Coachella has been rescheduled several times since the last time the event took place in 2019.
SpaceX is sending more than 100 satellites into space. Take a look. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched the Transporter 3 out of Florida this morning. Along with it, a batch of 105 small satellites that will be sent into low Earth orbit. After the launch, the Falcon 9's boosters safely landed back at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. SpaceX plans to refurbish the rocket so it can be used again on future missions.
Italian Coast Guard drone video showed a wreath-laying ceremony in the waters off Giglio, Italy, to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Costa Concordia tragedy. 32 people lost their lives January 13th, 2012, when the luxury cruise ship capsized and sank. The huge ship, a floating hotel as long as 3 football fields, hit a rock, which tore a 100-foot-long gash in its hull, and the ship capsized soon afterwards. Some of the 4,200 survivors attended the events, which included a mass and a candlelight vigil.
A rough day on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials fell 176 points, closing at 36,113. The NASDAQ dropped 381 points, or 2.5%. The S&P 500 was off 67, or almost 1.5%. Well, another month, another record-setting leap in prices.
Yep, food and just about everything else we buy, from gasoline to furniture, is costing significantly more.
Inflation rose 7% over the past year, the highest since 1982. Moses Altsek from the UW Madison School of Business joins us. Moses, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Hi, Moses. Good to see you.
Happy New Year. It's good to be back.
So what's happening? Why are prices skyrocketing?
Well, you know, it's not rocket science, actually. The cost of goods is going up because of the labor cost. The labor shortage is creating a bidding war for labor. So the labor cost is going up. The cost of goods is also going up because raw materials are more expensive. There's supply chain bottlenecks. There's transportation bottlenecks. And all of that is creating both sort of higher prices to produce goods. Lower supply. And on the other hand, we've had a couple of years of stimulus spending, and we have a lot of people sort of with high demand for products and lower demand for services, right, while the pandemic is still going on. So, you know, high demand, low supply, that means higher prices, and the pandemic is, I'm afraid, behind all of that.
Will the inflation that we're seeing now, do you think, be temporary? How long do you think this will last?
Well, it's probably going to stick around a little bit, meaning that's probably going to be a phenomenon that's going to stick around and gradually subside throughout 2022. Omicron is going to subside. People are going to shift to more services, travel, entertainment that they're not spending money on now, and that will allow the supply chain time to catch up. And there's also going to be more labor available, right? Because there's going to be fewer infections of people staying out of the labor force because they're quarantining or they've been exposed to the variant. So that's going to help with inflation a little bit over time. So I see good things ahead. It's just not going to happen overnight.
Do you think the feds are going to raise interest rates to respond to this?
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to raise interest rates. And that also puts the brakes a little bit on some of the spending, especially on housing, perhaps on cars that, you know, they've seen a tremendous shortage because of the microchip sort of issue and supply disruptions. So there's super high demand for that, and prices have skyrocketed. Well, those prices are not going to stay skyrocketed forever. So they're going to come down a little bit. That's going to help with inflation.
How does inflation affect the stock market and your investments?
Yeah, the inflation causes that increase in interest rates, and that does have an effect on the stock market. There's no question about that. But remember, the effect is not likely to be sort of a long-term effect. You know how the stock market is. It's cyclical. So it may take a couple of hits. There may be a couple of adjustments, but it's gonna come back. So if anybody sees the stock market dropping like it did today, and they're thinking, oh, I got to get out. No, the stock market is the long game. You stick around. You can readjust perhaps what you have your money in, but if you wait long enough, if you don't need the money soon because you're going to retire in a year or two, you just wait, and every little thing is going to be all right. I hope I don't have to pay a royalty for saying that.
But what if you are going to retire in a year or so?
That may be different. This may be time to perhaps change your position, maybe be a little less aggressive with respect to stocks, maybe put some more of that into cash. There are some things that people who know they're going to need the money very, very soon should probably do right now, just out of an abundance of caution. But for most people, this is not going to be a long-term problem any more than inflation is going to be, or the supply chain shortages are going to be a long-term problem. Again, we're not going to solve it overnight, but it's, this is not here to stay forever, folks. I promise you that.
All right, let's hope for a better 2022.
Yes.
Moses, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Moses. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Take care.
Well, besides inflation, you may notice some store shelves are pretty bare.
We'll look into what's causing that problem coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
The Lynx device stops reflux by using magnets to strengthen the muscle at the end of the esophagus, and this prevents acid from flowing from the stomach back into the esophagus.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow, makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, for $9.95 a month, I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget, wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the $9.95 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
Open late, early, weekends, after double shifts, during lunch breaks, in between grocery shopping, side gigs, and picking up the kiddos. Drop off your docs, upload online, or file on the go. At Jackson Hewitt, we work around your schedule so you can get your biggest refund guaranteed.
Habitat homes are built and bought by the hardworking families that live in them. Through affordable mortgages backed by your donations, Habitat Dane County offers a chance for these families to invest in their future and their community. Please donate or volunteer today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Schwab, General Surgeon at Stoughton Health. If you suffer from reflux, please join us for our upcoming seminar on the Lynx device, a new and innovative treatment to stop reflux.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Take a look at this. The world-famous ice disc that is reforming in Westbrook, Maine. It's a spectacle that gained international attention 2 years ago. The disc is located on Presumscot River. It's pretty large already, but the ice is very thin. A previous disc formed in 2019, spinning on the water for about 2 weeks. Back then, city officials said it formed by the churning water created by the waterfall just 100 feet north of the disc.
They are so cool. There was one on the Wisconsin River last year.
Was there really?
Yes, yeah.
Down by the dam?
That's amazing. I'm not sure. I saw it on social media, but maybe we'll get lucky enough again this year to see one.
Yeah, that would be really neat.
Yeah, this is going to form more and more, so we'll keep an eye on it for you. Ooh. And you keep an eye on the weather for us.
I am. We right now are a little warm outside. Any thin ice probably melting away. The thicker ice probably holding on at least for the next few hours before we cool back down. Temperatures near 40 degrees, and we're looking at some snow chances by the end of the week and the weekend. We'll look at your full 10-day right after the break.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes.
This new year, in just 10 minutes, you'll look incredible.
This is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it
visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it, and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This new year is the best time to get Plexiderm for only $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Weather can be weathered with technology there to help you in a Ford Escape. Winter roads can be tough. Bronco Sport, tougher. And Explorer can take the bite out of chilly mornings. Ford, winter like you mean it. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2021 Edge or Escape and get 0% financing for 66 months plus $1,000 cash back. Only at your local Ford dealer.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, it is mild out for us right now, about 40 in Madison, really throughout southern Wisconsin, generally sitting in the upper 40 or upper 30s, close to 40 degrees. Compared to this time yesterday, we're all sitting in a pretty similar spot, but this is more than 10 degrees above average for us for the middle of January. Now, as we look overnight and ahead to Friday, we're going to be keeping an eye on a winter system that stays off to the west for most of its longevity, but we might see some light flurries pass through for most or parts of southern Wisconsin. Early Friday morning, temperatures near 20 with a mostly cloudy sky. By Friday afternoon, this light snow starts to creep in along our southwestern counties. We could see some flurries as far as Dane County with that cloudy sky overhead, but not expecting much more than flurries for us for Dane, Columbia, for parts of Richland County and Sauk County included in that throughout the afternoon and evening on Friday. The snow continues to pull down to the south, so we'll continue to see some light snow falling again along the Mississippi River. The rest of the area could see some light flurries, but not concerned about that accumulation really building in for us. For Saturday, high temperatures in a much colder spot, generally trending at about 20 or even into the upper teens for us on Saturday. Overall accumulation totals less than an inch throughout most of our area. Right along the Mississippi River, we could see a few inches of accumulation. The significant snowfall, though, really pulling off to the west, stretching through Minnesota and Iowa. This system going to impact a lot of people. This swings down through the plains, dips down into the southeast and picks up that warm Gulf moisture. And because of all that moisture building in, it's expected to wrap right up the East Coast and potentially dump a lot of snow into the New England area for early next week. This is Monday morning, and it moves quite quickly, bringing some light snow through parts of the deep south and again up to the East Coast, the northern East Coast. So it could be quite an active Sunday night and into Monday with that system passing through. For us, really focusing more on just some light flurries, possibly some light snow, again, southwest of Dane County. For late Friday, colder temperatures expected for the weekend. And then as we look ahead to next week, we might have our next opportunity for some snow building in. Our colder temperatures really trending below average in our 6 to 10 day outlook. That trend anchoring down through much of the eastern half of the country for the next 2 weeks in our 8 to 14 day outlook as well. 22 the high for tomorrow, mostly cloudy sky with some flurries late in the day west along the Mississippi River, the western edge of the state. Close to 20 for Saturday. Temperatures generally staying in the teens through the day. For Sunday morning, we're cold down to the single digits. For Monday, we start off the week trending close to average in the upper 20s with our next chance for some snow building in. Looking ahead to Tuesday, light flurries possible for Wednesday, and then another blast of cold air. There's that big dip below average for the back half of the week with high temperatures in the teens. Overnight lows will drop down close to zero for us, because I know that we miss the colder weather, guys.
Don't get used to this.
No, we're not expecting the 40s next week.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Grocery store shelves across the country empty as stores face worker shortages and low inventory.
And the fear of price increases is growing. Gabe Cohen has the story.
It's a disconcerting deja vu. Empty shelves at grocery stores, like the early days of the pandemic.
The shelves is ridiculous.
Canette Washington went to 3 D.C. stores to find food for her kids.
It's getting a little hard, but I just have to do what I got to do.
The cause? A perfect storm. The entire food supply chain, farms, warehouses, trucking, grocery stores, were already facing a worker shortage. Now, Omicron is intensifying it.
If they're seeing empty shelves when they go to a supermarket, that's why labor shortage.
At Stu Leonard's in the Northeast, 8% of workers were isolating last week. Some other stores have less than half their staff.
It's a challenge.
And with people stuck at home and inflation at its highest point in 40 years, families are cooking more meals and demand for groceries is spiking. Now, throw in winter weather. This blast in the Northeast shut down I-95 in Virginia, a critical trucking route, for more than a day, leaving stores across the region with little inventory.
I turned around. There is like nothing for me to buy.
Already took time out of my day, to go to the store and stuff, so definitely a little frustrating.
The Northwest and Midwest saw similar issues amid extreme weather. While shelves are mostly stocked again, winter is just underway, and Omicron is still spreading, with the supply chain stretched thin.
I expect in the coming weeks we will continue to face supply challenges. Those challenges will be sporadic and they will impact different areas at different times.
At Dawson's Market in D.C., owner Bart Yablonsky got word from his distributor that they can only deliver 70% of his orders in the coming weeks.
It's not that the product is not in the warehouse, it's because they don't have enough people to pick the product. That also creates a situation where we have to pivot again and try to find alternative suppliers for some of the key items.
Are you concerned that there could be shortages on the shelves here?
Absolutely. So I'm definitely concerned that there's going to be shortages.
Experts say there should be enough food at stores, but in some cases there will be fewer options. The National Grocers Association is now asking the Biden administration to prioritize tests for grocery workers across the supply chain and limit mandates to help keep their workforce intact.
We know that there are workers who will leave as opposed to getting vaccinated or even having to deal with testing on a weekly basis.
Starting February 1st, unvaccinated workers at Stu Leonard's will no longer be paid if they have to quarantine.
I think that's fair.
Many owners have already raised wages to keep staff. With operation costs rising, families should expect more price hikes at the market in the months ahead.
It's going to be very concerning.
Kennette Washington, like so many, is struggling to eat those costs as a grocery store cashier.
Bring up the pay rate. That's all I ask. Bring up the pay rate.
Problem all over the place.
Yeah, tough times, as we were just talking to Moses about. Well, coming up next on Live at 4, after a fire caused by a space heater in the Bronx killed 17 people. We'll tell you how to stay safe when using a space heater.
And then at 5, we have more information about the $325 million expansion that Exact Sciences plans for its Madison campus. That's coming.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Test rest a Beauty Rest Black or Black Hybrid at Steinhafels, and you could win a 2-year lease to a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. Beauty Rest Black is the ultimate in luxury and comfort. Queen mattresses start at just $23.99. Plus, get a free weighted blanket and $200 in Steinhafels cash. And with Steinhafels special financing and free delivery, buying a Beauty Rest Black has never been easier. Relax, it's Steinhafels and Steinhafels.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
Tonight at 5, we look at the number of COVID cases in the Wisconsin prison system now compared to the general public. Should there be additional concerns?
Tomorrow will be a colder day, but a winter storm will stay to the west of Wisconsin, just bringing us a chance of light snow or flurries. Colder weather is likely later next week as well. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, one local company is investing $350 million in expansions. I'll tell you how many new jobs that investment will bring to Madison. That's coming up at 6.
Look at downtown Madison on this Thursday afternoon.
Oh, it's a beautiful evening outside. Look how light it still is.
Get out and enjoy it while you can.
Yes.
Well, in these cold winter months, many families use space heaters to get warm.
But unfortunately, the devices lead to thousands of fires every year.
Michael George has some tips to keep your family safe.
An apartment building fire in New York this week took the lives of 17 people, and investigators say the flames were started by a space heater. New York firefighters did a demonstration to show just how dangerous the appliance can be. A blanket placed on top of a heater ignited in less than 30 seconds. In less than 2 minutes, the entire room is filled with smoke and flames.
When that space heater is on, that is at least 3 to 5 feet away from anything that would burn.
Safety officials say it's also important to plug the heaters directly into the wall, not into an extension cord or power strip.
All too often, if the space heater itself doesn't go on fire, the power strip or wiring will cause a fire.
When buying a heater, experts advise getting one that will automatically shut off if it tips over, and make sure it's certified by a lab. This UL code signifies a product has been tested and certified.
Make sure that there's some basic safety protections on them, like a grid on the outside of it to protect child or pet from getting too close.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says it's also important to check cpsc.gov for any recalls. Over the years, several heaters have been recalled for overheating. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Some good tips there. Well, up next, alcohol-related deaths hit record highs in 2020 as the pandemic took hold.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the sobering statistics and what's being done to battle the problem. That's when Live at 4 continues.
There's a difference in a small town where family values still hold true. Welcome to the Portage Furniture Store. Well, we ventured back to Portage and look at who we found, the two Ayers brothers, Austin and Aaron. It's good to see you guys.
Welcome back.
So how is business? How is life?
Business has been great. You know, it's been very busy, busy for both of us. A couple new kiddos in the, in the past year. So no, but business has been doing great.
I know you really want to give a shout out to all of the people around this area that shop local, that choose to come right here to Cook Street to see the two of you.
Obviously, first and foremost, we're so appreciative of our customers, and there's just been such a strong sentiment to shop local, shop small, support family business. And I guess with the inventory, we've been very blessed. We've got a packed showroom, trucks coming in every week. We've really, we're running out of places to put everything. We're in good shape.
I feel like there's such a difference in the customer's mood when they walk in. They don't have that anxious feeling of, oh gosh, here comes the salesperson coming over to talk to me. Why is that so different here?
We put a major emphasis on no pressure shopping. Our salespeople, they're fantastic. They're gonna be there when you need them, but they're gonna let you, try everything out, and they're gonna leave you alone and let you relax.
So all these years later, the big question is, there's still the Portage Furniture free delivery?
Yep, absolutely. Still the free delivery. Gonna bring it right into your home, set it up, make it perfect for you. They'll even cook you dinner or sing a song for you if you need. They're just fantastic.
That's that small, local, family feel business mentality. You can't replicate it, right?
We're the Years family.
From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
A bit of good news for traffic. No accidents to report right now. Actually, throughout Dane County, things look fairly smooth for us this evening. Eastbound on the Beltline, we're still seeing a few delays, just some slowdown spots close to Monona, and then things pick back up. Westbound right now, no delays. And for downtown Madison, the usual stop-and-go spots on East Wash, but a lot of green, actually, a lot of movement for us on the road, so some good news. Downtown Janesville looks good, and the interstate right now, north and southbound, also pretty smooth. So from the Beltline to Janesville, we're at 25 minutes, 15 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City and downtown to Sun Prairie, sitting right at 17 minutes for us this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
Dana, thank you. A lot of people think this is the most wonderful time of the year. It's Girl Scout cookie time. This year you can get your favorites, as always, but you also have a new option called Adventurefuls. The cookies is described as, quote, an indulgent brownie-inspired cookie with caramel-flavored cream and a hint of sea salt. It's available now through April, and if there isn't a Girl Scout near you, you can order boxes of cookies through the DoorDash app nationwide starting next month. Love Girl Scout cookie.
I want to try the new one, yeah.
Well, more people in Wisconsin died from alcohol in 2020 than during any other year on record.
That is according to a new report from the nonpartisan Wisconsin Policy Forum.
It found deaths directly related to alcohol rose nearly 25% amid the COVID pandemic. Maureen Buzalaki is the director of the Wisconsin Alcohol Policy Project. Welcome to Live at 4. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Maureen. Good to see you.
What do you think caused the spike in 2020?
I think there were a number of factors. First of all, Wisconsin's trend has been going up since about 2012 in terms of higher alcohol-related deaths. And then you've got the pandemic on top of that, where people were locked down. And so you saw more binge drinking and heavy drinking. And that can have a pretty devastating effect on people, especially if they have a history of binge drinking or heavy drinking.
And a lot of people self-medicate with alcohol to deal with the stress of the pandemic and the isolation of it. A 25% in alcohol-related deaths translates into just over 1,000 deaths. Is that right? I think 1,077. So how does that compare with past years in Wisconsin and with our neighboring Midwestern states?
That's a great question. I mean, it's a big spike, and Wisconsin has trended higher in these deaths. Now, just to be clear, these are alcohol-induced deaths. This report does not cover motor vehicle crashes, cancer, homicide, with alcohol involved, and those kinds of deaths. So this is more on the disease side of deaths.
So what kind of diseases does alcohol create?
So there's alcohol liver cirrhosis, and there's alcohol hepatitis, which are probably the two most common. We have more digging to do into the research here because there were also alcohol poisonings that are counted as part of this report. So those are generally caused when folks have a history of either binge drinking frequently, or heavy drinking, or an alcohol use disorder, where they're, drinking heavily over time. But the pandemic, I think, spiked it because people were isolated. Perhaps some folks weren't able to get some of their healthcare appointments as one would hope. And some of these diseases can progress pretty quickly if there's an increase in the alcohol consumed.
So I would expect you would think the numbers would go up even higher from here next year, right?
They could. It could be too that we've maybe learning to live with some of this new normal. Hopefully people are getting support and help, you know, and I think, you know, a lot of healthcare folks are reaching out to people that they know are at risk.
So what does the Alcohol Policy Project do?
So we provide training and technical assistance to communities, elected officials, public health departments, coalitions across the state. And we work to support policies that are evidence-based to bring down excessive alcohol use. And excessive alcohol use is binge drinking, which is 5 or more in a single setting. Heavy drinking, which is essentially more than 1 drink a day. Drinking while pregnant, and underage drinking.
Well, it's very important work, and we have a lot of work to be done. A survey that was done in October of the 50 drunkest counties in the United States, 41 of them were in Wisconsin. So that speaks to almost a culture that we have around alcohol that I would think is difficult to change.
It is, but we didn't get here overnight. So slowly the state legislature and local governments have opened up accessibility and availability of alcohol. And so it's a matter of sort of, let's pull this back and make it more reasonable so that we're not putting our communities at risk.
Maureen, a lot of work to be done in 2022, that's
Very
for sure.
important work,
Yes.
yeah.
Thanks for being with us today.
Great to talk to you today, Maureen. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salon Paws.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salon Paws, it's good medicine.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. When it comes to saving money, the Marshalls are masterful. But back in the day, that was not the case. Today, savings is what drives them. That's why they chose Consumer Cellular.
You live and learn.
They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and start saving.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Tonight at 5, we look at the number of COVID cases in the Wisconsin prison system now compared to the general public. Should there be additional concerns? And why was the decision to purchase body cams for Madison PD denied by the city? We talked to Chief Barnes at 5.
The launch of 5G cell service is causing major turbulence between airlines and wireless carriers, with customers caught in the middle. Eric Bronke gets to the bottom of the fight and how it could impact your next plane trip. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, some flurries in the forecast for our Friday. Here is a quick look at our snow accumulations likely by Saturday morning. Most of southern Wisconsin under an inch of accumulation, so really just trace amounts with measurable amounts expected along the Mississippi River. Late Friday night, that's when the light snow will be moving through. Behind it, gets a little colder outside for the weekend. By the middle of next week, we do have the possibility for some light snow to build back into the forecast. We'll be right back.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids, and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, for $9.95 a month, I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget, wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the $9.95 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
In today's Final Touch, a World War II letter finds its way home.
Nearly 8 decades later, imagine Angelina Godslav's surprise when she received a letter in the mail that was written by her late husband before they ever met. The letter, written by John Godslav to his mother while stationed in Germany in 1945, had sat undelivered by the Postal Service for more than 7 decades. In the letter, the then 22-year-old Godslav writes of life in World War II to his mother back home in Massachusetts. The Postal Service released a statement saying they weren't sure where the letter had been, but once it surfaced, they knew it had to get delivered. John died in 2015, but Angelina, his wife of 61 years, says receiving the long-lost letter was an unexpected and wonderful gift.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It really is. That's our time for now. Thanks for this. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.